All right. Appreciate y'all being here. Crazy fourth quarter. I don't think I've ever been a part of a game like that. This one stings more than even the one last week. Wrote kind of the string of events down here. Let's see if I can get this right. I think we're up 24-20 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. 24-20. 14 minutes and some change, and we run into our own punt returner. So we're going to get the ball back up 4 with 14 minutes to go, and I can't explain it. I can't explain that one. We work that twice a week, that very situation, and that's a hard one for me to explain. And they score, and it's 27-27. We go down and kick a field goal to tie it up, 27-27. They get the ball somewhere around the 30-yard line, give or take. And I can tell you exactly where it was. So they get the ball 29-yard line. It's either 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. And I thought our guy was just clearly held at the point of attack. They ran a stack formation to the field. I thought Marcus Floyd clear right out in the open. And then we miss a tackle. Presley goes in to score, 34-27. And then we get the ball in midfield, 4th and 2. And I felt like we were struggling, which proved right. We were struggling to tackle, so went for it right there. And really we should have handed it off. And Garrett played his tail off. Like he played his tail off, gave us a chance to win. Sometimes he thinks he's Superman. He can make all the plays, but that read told him to give it. And he's got to give it. And I'm not faulting him because I thought he's the only reason, we had a chance. He was really good. So they get the ball at midfield, and then from there on out, it's the Ollie Gordon show. He had 150 yards in the fourth quarter. I don't think I've ever seen that. I've never been part of a team that gave up 150 yards in a quarter to somebody. I don't know if we tackled him in the fourth quarter. Extremely frustrating. I thought offensively we competed, got back into it. On that last drive, I thought we clearly got pass interfered. Cole Taylor on the first down play down there. So I'll have to get an explanation on that one. But I thought we'd score there and kick again and see what we had. And but that's kind of disappointing, to say the least. I thought this was a game that going in the fourth quarter we had a chance. Really had a chance to go up and take either a 7 or an 11-point lead. And some mistakes that I have a hard time explaining. So
start with your defense, and they were holding on through the first 3 quarters, holding people to at least field goal or field goal tries. But fourth quarter, just fatigue. What was it?
Without watching it, we didn't fit the runs. They weren't doing anything special. They were running split zone. It's probably our first or second most called play here, and so it's something we see every day. Wasn't any surprises. They got in the pistol maybe a little bit more than they have in previous games. But other than that, we just missed a bunch of tackles and ran by the ball. And that's what it looked like from the sideline. Now I may tell you something different on Monday, but we ran right by the ball and missed tackles.
With 2:36 left, what was the thoughts on the onside kick, and did you think about setting it?
So we had both of them called up. So when they got the penalty late hit on the kicker, it's very you're talking about maybe a 10-yard difference. So then probably was going to kick it deep until they got the late hit on the kicker. Once they did that, the ball's in such a you're dealing with 10 yards. So then it makes the risk worth the reward.
You went unbalanced, heavy set as much as I can remember. You've done it in the past, but was that the most, and why was that sort of the game plan?
Yeah, so try to put our best people at the point of attack. I thought we really kept them off balance. We did some good things. We ran the ball for 226, threw it for 250. There was probably another 50-plus yards there in the pass game. So we just wanted to get them uncomfortable. They were kind of matching it and playing 4 down, which is not what they practice. You know, they're 3 down, and they were. We really felt like we had them off balance and did some good things. We started the game really porous on offense, you know, and recovered well after that. But both halves really, I'd love to have the first drive after halftime back. You know, it wasn't very good. But I thought we did some good things offensively.
Did you sense any adjustments or anything to open up space for Ollie that they did at halftime or in the fourth quarter? Or
yeah, I mean, the third quarter, he's a good back, right? So he's going to – and they handed him the ball a bunch, you know, through 3 quarters. I think through 3 quarters, I'm going to ballpark this, Mike. I don't know if I'm exactly right. He had 120 to 130 probably. And, you know, they were mixing it up, counter, inside zone, and then, you know, I don't know. Without watching it, what it felt like is we ran by the ball a bunch and we missed tackles, got out of our gap, and just flat. I don't know how many tackles we missed. It felt like a bunch.
Neal, some of that fatigue, fourth quarter, guy running at you again and again, and just
No.
the numbers a little bit too.
Yeah, he didn't get fatigued. You know, that's kind of the way I think about it. Is it's a hell of a lot harder to run the ball 29 times than it is to stand back and tackle them, probably. You know, because we're rotating some guys in. Now we don't have much depth at linebacker right now, and I think that showed. We got some really young guys right there at the point of attack, and they're kind of learning as we go. So was fatigue a factor? Maybe. I have a hard time really, as much as we train and prepare, I have a really hard time pointing to that and saying, hey, fatigue got us. I don't know.
And then the punt, you say you work on that a bunch. Was it not called like, hey, watch out, or did he not?
Yeah, so the way you teach that jammer position is you teach them to peek, right? They're always peeking. So you got to, when you go back and get your guy, you always peek the returner. And that's the way we work it. So we work a drill every Monday, and then when we do punt return, which is on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, you know, that's something that we constantly do.
What's Garrett reading on that 4th and 2?
It was just his own read. It was his own read, and you'll have to ask him. But my jump at my hunch is pretty good with him, and he just tried to make a play. He said, I'm going to make a play, and the end got upfield, and he should have handed it.
What did you like about that play overall there?
Because we ran it about 3 other times, and we had an explosive run on it, really good run. You know, we had numbers. You get 2 for 2. You read their best player, you know, and so if they bend, then you got our guy who's been our best player on offense, skill-wise, which is Garrett running the ball. If they don't, then it's lagging. Our backs will fall forward for 2, and you got a first down.
What did you say to the team after the game, just after last week and this again?
Yeah, you know, like here's the thing is like you got to play better. You know, I'm not in the mode where like nobody feels sorry for us. You know, like we didn't play well enough to win last week, and we made some untimely mistakes, and we got 5 games left, and nobody on our schedule feels sorry for us. You know, like UCF we go down there next week, and they played one of the top teams in the country's tails off. You know, coming off a bye week, we come back home and BYU, they don't care. You know, nobody we play on our schedule is going to feel sorry for us. And at the end of the day, man, you got to prepare and you got to go play. And I thought our guys were prepared. I don't think this is a lingering. You know, if we come in here and this game wasn't, then you say, oh, we had a hard time responding. That's not the case. We responded. We're up 24-20 in the fourth quarter, and we don't get it done. You know, and you got to figure out ways to win, especially at home when you're up 24-20.
So you don't think the emotions of last week?
Say again.
You don't think the emotions of last week's loss?
No, because we're right there, Greg. You know, like, and here's the same thing. I think it's an easy, like, I refuse to take easy outs. Like, you know, and I'm not, you know, the questions are legit questions, right? Mike asked about fatigue, and that's a legit question, but like I just refuse to accept that as an answer. You know, they're playing the same schedule we are. You know, they played on Saturday, we played on Thursday. You know, the emotions, like every game's an emotion. You know, every game you win or lose. You know, there's highs and lows, but you got to be able to respond. And I don't think that game, because we're sitting there with a chance to win, you know, like in the fourth quarter. And like I said this just a second ago, if this was a game that we were never in, or, it wasn't competitive or something like that, then yeah, I think then you go and all right, well, how do we get them ready? And we got to really evaluate how we attack the the loss and all that kind of stuff. But that wasn't the case. We're right there in the fourth quarter, a chance to win, and we don't get it done. And that's what you got to go attack is, okay, why are we missing tackles? Why do we not get any separation at wideout on the last drive of the game when we still were in it? Those are the things you got to be able to go back and reevaluate. Is there a better call we could have had on 4th and 2? Those are the things you go back and reevaluate. But I don't think I'm not gonna allow that to be an out for us. Yeah, he had a lower leg injury. No more when I meet with you guys on Monday. I know they sent him for X-rays. That's all I know.
Did Tomas warm up?
Yeah, he warmed up, but we weren't going to play him. This is just kind of the next phase in his. He needed a day, so we just used the warm up as his kind of.
The start, it's 10 out the first quarter, but it's kind of quirky with the turnovers. But did you feel good? Not about the turnovers, but whatever you're talking about there about.
Yeah, the response coming back. Yeah, so like we come out and really, man, just like as weird as the fourth quarter was, the first couple of possessions were really weird too. I thought that the ball hits them on the punt return. We get the ball back, and then Cole basically gets the ball taken away from him. We got the ball in the red zone with a chance to really take advantage of something early, and we don't. And then Garrett makes a bad decision, throws it into it, and we're down 10-0. And then I thought we showed some real, determination, heart, however you want to use it, to get back into it and take the lead going into half. So we overcame that slow start. Just need to finish better.
There's great coaches all over this conference. What does Mike Gundy do to make things difficult for the
I don't know. I think it's a player's game, and I'm not taking away from Mike. He went and recruited Ollie Gordon. You know what I mean? The Oliver kid is an elite player. The thing and what I do credit Mike is he's done it for a long time. He's done it a bunch of different ways. That's what I said on Monday as well, or during the press conference on Monday. I give their staff a lot of credit. They've gotten those guys back after a really tough loss to South Alabama, and then they've played really lights out since. They had a really close game where they don't turn the ball over, they beat Iowa State, and then they played 2 ranked wins, and they coming in here and winning. So, but he's done a really good job for a long time.
Coach Michael Hayes was shook up on that last extra point. How's he doing?
Yeah, I'll know more. He got hit in the lower leg pretty good, and so hopeful we'll know a little bit more here when I get with the trainers after this.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yep.